Are you a professional pillow fighter? Or a 9-to-5 low-cost time travel agent? Or maybe real estate sales on Mars is your profession? It doesn't matter. Whatever it is you do, however complex or intricate, Monday.com can help you organize, orchestrate, and make it more efficient. Monday.com is the one centralized platform for everything work-related. And with Monday.com, work is just easier. Monday.com, for whatever you run. Go to Monday.com to learn more.
Regen auf mein Kopf. Hinter der Deckel muss es die kleine Fahrt beim Topf. Geht mir kein Sach nicht, die Tropf.
Hey everyone, it's me. Welcome to Kill Me Now with Judy Gold. I am your host, Judy Gold. And I guess the name of our episode this week is Judy Gold Goes to the White House Correspondents' Dinner. Thank you all for being here. I not only went to the White House Correspondents' Dinner this week, or last week, whatever. I mean, I can't even keep track. But I was a delegate for the Creative Coalition lobbying for funding for the arts. So I am going, this week, we are going to talk. I'm just so excited. I love my new format where I get to say whatever the fuck I want. But I want to tell you all about my trip to Washington, D.C. this week, because it was full of fun and important work. Just so you know, you can see my white jacket hanging behind me if you see a video. I don't know if we're going to use this clip for, the promotional video, but there's my white jacket that I had cleaned. I wore that white jacket for a gala for the Creative Coalition, and I had it cleaned right before I left. And, here's what's annoying. During COVID, this is my Kill Me Now moment. But anyway, during COVID, no one was touching each other. So I didn't get people's fucking makeup on my clothes. But now you hug people and they get, you get their base, their what's it called? The base makeup. Foundation. You get their foundation, their lipstick. It's like, don't touch me. But I'm a hugger, and it's bad, and I'm gigantic. So, of course, their face goes right into my chest or area, and that's the end of it. So I can't believe I have to get the fucking jacket cleaned. I tried a makeup wipe to get it out, but whatever. So anyway, here we are. The sirens are going because I live in New York City, right off of Amsterdam Avenue, and which is a thoroughfare for ambulances and police cars, and it's fucking annoying. So here they go. Slower, more annoying. Bye-bye. Okay, so let me tell you all about my week. So I left on Thursday morning. BD and I, my work husband, and we were both asked to be delegates for the Creative Coalition, where you go into these Congress people's offices in a group and you tell them stories about why they need to fund for the arts, for the NEA. And it's a coalition of people who work in the arts, not just recognizable people, but Wendy Fetterman was there, who's a big Broadway producer who talked about Broadway. There were designers there. It was people who work in the arts. And of course, they said to us, it's going to be like summer camp. And it was like summer camp. We just all bonded. So anyway, so BD and I took the train, the Acela, on Thursday to DC. And we sat with each other and he bought ramen. He bought us both ramen, but we were in first class. Now, I've never traveled first class on the Acela. All right, I know this is going to shock everyone. When I take the Acela, I sit in the quiet car because I can't stand listening to people's conversations. And everyone's like, "You're in the quiet car?" And it's like, yeah, I like to read and I don't want to talk, but I am the worst. I am the narco in the quiet car. The minute someone like gets on the phone or like, I'm like, shh, And then I'm an asshole, but we all know that. So there's no quiet car. So people can be on the phone and act like they're running the entire world and talk really loud. But they do serve you food. And they come, it's like being it's not like being on first class on a plane, but it's like being in, business or comfort plus. There's a server. They give you water or coffee, and then you got to pick a lunch. The breakfast wasn't available. I got the poached salmon over a cucumber salad, and BD got the fruit and cheese plate. And we ate and talked and whatever, and I read all of the stuff, all of the information from the Creative Coalition because I'm a nerd, and BD did not. Just telling on him. And then, all right, so we got to the hotel. So that night, the Thursday night, we have a dinner, and it's all the delegates. And I mean, I can tell you all the delegates' names. You'll know all of them. Jason Isaacs, Billy Eichner, who else was there? Oh, Justin Hartley, Sophia Pernis, Kobe Smulders. And Ben was so excited about, he's, Ben and Samantha, his girlfriend, and they're like, oh, you're with this one and that one. And it's very exciting because Henry could give two shits. And he's like, yeah, you think you're cool. There's always. But it was just Wendy Malick. Who else? Go look at my Instagram and Tweetar at Judy Gold, JUDYGOLD, and you'll see loads and loads of photos. We went to this dinner, and it's sort of like, when you first go to a new school and it's like, hi, and then you get put into groups. So we were the blue group, and we lobby together. So the next day, after the dinner, which was nice, the dinner was nice, but we got all the information we needed on how to lobby and the stories we have to tell and how we only have 20 minutes with the Congress people. And most of them are Republicans because they're the ones we need to convince to, appropriate funds to the National Endowment of the Arts, and how important the arts are, and how, you had a personal story that you could tell to, wrangle their heartstrings. I know it's not wrangle, but I can't pull on their heartstrings. So we went to that dinner, and then we went to sleep. I didn't get good sleep. I'm letting you know because I didn't have my CPAP. And I'm telling you right now, I can't believe how much that CPAP has changed my life, because last night I finally got home and I had my CPAP and I got a really good sleep score. Okay. But yeah, it's bad. This sleep apnea is not good. Anyway, I know I go off on tangents, but too fucking bad. So we had the dinner Thursday night. Okay. So all night they're like, wear comfortable shoes. You're going to be walking through the Capitol. And it's really, there's marble floors and marble and marble and marble. All I wanted to do was bump into Marjorie Taylor Greene or George Santos, neither of whom we bumped into, but ugh. There's no way they could have held me back if I bumped into either of them. And there's other ones too. Like if I bumped into Jim Jordan or, Paul Gosard or all these fucking idiots. But anyway, we get there and, we have to realize, which was the hardest part. I think Billy Eichner and I were both like, oh my God, these people are so hateful to the LGBT. I'm like, I think we were thinking the same thing, but we have to, you have to be diplomatic. You realize that you have to reach across the aisle and try to forget that they are backing legislation that harms the LGBTQ plus community, and just say, please fund the arts. Please fund the arts. Okay. So we met at 7, whatever. There was breakfast. I can't eat that early, but I had a little French toast. Oh, and Yvette Nicole Brown was there. She's so fucking fun. She was, I'm just going to remember people as we go. Okay. So we went to the White House. No, we went to the fucking, what's it called? The Capitol. And we broke out into groups. And here's the people we met. Okay, here's my team. I'm going to read my team to you. Billy Eichner, B.D. Wong, Judy Gold, Brian Collins, Wendy Fetterman, Jared Ruga, Victoria Harris, Jason Isaacs, Alyssa Dudek, and Max Jordan. Okay. Brian Collins, by the way, amazing designer. Okay. So first, 9:15, we met with Congressman Gus Bilrakis from Florida, Republican. It's so interesting. You walk in their offices and they, you can tell what they're into and what they're like just by walking in the office and seeing what's on the wall and whether it's warm or not warm. And you see their entire staff. And if it's all white men, you're like, oh, we know who we're dealing with. So Gus, I think there was a woman, but mostly, men. His office, there were a lot of framed things signed by Donald Trump. And I was just looking at that signature and how fucking obnoxious it is. And so we're dealing with this Republican and he's listening and we're talking about the arts and how important it is. And I talked about how many jobs it creates. I mean, you're all about job creation, as you say. It creates jobs. There are, and not just, acting jobs and music jobs, but carpentry and sound and lights and other kinds of jobs, technical jobs. And just, also, you could tell who's going to take the bait with It Saved My Life, because it saved all of our lives, the theater and the storytelling and the representation. Anyway, so Gus is from Greek immigrants, Republican. Brian Collins noticed that, the stuff on the wall, there was one photo and he said that photo looks like it was sanctioned by the government, because he was saying how they had photographers taking photos at that time, government photographers, I can't think of the word that I'm trying to think of, to record these historical, I don't know, scenes, whatever. And so he grabbed onto that, which was great. I tried to talk to him about, I know I'm rambling, I'm sorry, but I tried to talk to him about, I was really funny. He's like, oh, she's a funny one. Oh, and then he said something about nonpartisanship. And I'm like, okay, you're a fucking Republican from Florida. Don't talk to me about nonpartisanship. But what I learned was there are moderate Republicans. They are, but they're just overshadowed by these fucking asshole Trump MAGA pieces of shite.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever find yourself playing the budgeting game? Well, with a Name Your Price tool from Progressive, you can find options that fit your budget and potentially lower your bills. Try it at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law. Not available in all states.
So we went to his office, then we left and we went to Betty McCollum, who's a Democrat from Minnesota. She was like the most warm. You walk in her office, it's just like you want to have tea, you want to hang out, you want to read a book, you want to just be with her staff. And she was unbelievable. And she's like, I love all of you. She was amazing. What a great woman. Congressman Betty McCollum, a Democrat of Minnesota. What a great woman. Then we went to Congressman Dan Meuser, Meuser, Republican from Pennsylvania. It was interesting because, Billy Eichner was recognized constantly. And people were walking down the hall and were like, oh my God, you could just tell they were just looking at Billy and they just loved him. And a lot of these people are right-wing Republicans and they want to take pictures with him. And he wants to be like, what, you people are horrible, but he can't, none of us can. And we went into one of these Congress people's offices. I don't know, it might have been Dan, where one of the guys was like, we love the art. Not him, just one of his staff was like, we love the arts and our conservative values. And Billy, we love you. And if you ever need anyone to hold your camera for you, and it's just like, do you realize that you are against his human rights? Like, you're voting against equality, and yet you want to hold his camera for his show. So that was interesting. There's no humility whatsoever. So we met with Dan Moser. He was fine. Then we went to Congressman Andrew Garbarino, like Vinnie Barbarino, who's a Republican from New York. Although he did have 2 other Republican congresspeople in to hear us, which was really supportive. And he was very moderate, and he was very into the arts. And Jason Isaacs told an amazing story. And he said, at the end of this meeting, one of the Republican congresspeople who was in there was like, I was the lead in the Music Man. And he's from Kansas. I was the lead in my high school play, so I know how important the arts funding is. And I'm thinking, you're the lead in the Music Man, and you're a Republican. Okay, whatever. So they were really great. And he said, now I have stories I can tell when we ask for money. I have the tools now. So that was really great. So I feel like all of our lobbying, it was interesting. I learned a lot. I learned about, and I think I'm good at this anyway, but I learned about having to communicate with these people who have completely different values than you. There is a way to reach over the aisle, but you have to focus on one issue, and you can't be in the back of your head all the time, even though I was like, they hate us, and they're voting against us. But we really want this funding for the arts. So you have to really hyper-focus on that and try to get what you want. Okay. We left there. We went to have a lunch, which was at the White House, I think. Then we met with, the lunch was good, but it was a buffet. And I cannot deal with a buffet. I don't know about you people. I cannot deal with a buffet. I have no portion control. I'm like, oh my God, I have to have that. 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 And my plate is like a glob of shit. And then I try to mix shit put it on top of something else so people don't see that I took the pasta and the coleslaw. And, so I pile it on top, and then I play around with the plate when I sit down. It's ridiculous. Like I'm a deprived whatever. We had lunch. Then we went to the White House. We took a lot of photos. It was great. And we met with, Karine Jean-Pierre was there, and she spoke, and then she was leaving. And I'm like, you have to take a picture with the gays. What is wrong with you? So check out my Instagram. There's a picture of me, and Billy and BD. BD's not Jewish, but his kid is. So there you go. And Kareem Jean-Pierre, who's great. And we heard such an emotional, lot of great stories and speaking and about how important the arts is. And you know what they started talking about at the White House, which was fascinating? The mental health crisis and how arts really helps these kids. We have a mental health crisis in this country. These kids are on their phones all the time. I said that in the meetings. I said, when they are engaged in this kind of work, in creating art, they are not on their phones and, burning themselves up or learning how to commit suicide or be obsessed with these horrible things that happen online. And that, I think, was a good point. But they were really talking about the mental health crisis and our poor kids. It's not fair. Anyway, so that's that. So that was that day. Then we had a gala that night, which was really fun. And then the next day, Saturday morning, was the White House Correspondents brunch. First of all, let me tell you, both BD and I had to bring these huge fucking suitcases because every fucking event is another outfit. And I'm big. My shoes are big. My clothes are big. It was ridiculous for 3 days. bullshit. But I did it. So the next day was the White House Correspondents brunch. So we went to the brunch. It was so crowded, but there were, can I tell you, I mean, if you're a news nerd like me, you're at this brunch, you're seeing everyone you see on television, every journalist. I saw Yamiche Alcindor and Sarah Sidner. I'm just like, thank you. The really great journalists, I just said thank you. We hung out with Kara Swisher and her lovely wife. Kara's not Jewish, but her wife is. And I saw Jonathan Capehart. Who else did we see? I mean, I went up to Phil Rucker and I was like, oh my God, I love you. And he's like, thank you. And, when the gays don't say, hi, Judy, I'm a little, because, I've been around for so long, but a lot of the gay journalists were like, hi. And they were like really nice to me. Olivia Newsy from the New York Magazine is so great. She's such a great writer. I loved seeing her. Oh God, Stephanie Rule, the best. We love Stephanie. Name a journalist. They were there. BD and I were just, oh my God, there's that one. There's that one. Oh, Eric Swalwell. Love him. I couldn't wait to say hi to Amy Klobuchar at the brunch. And I was like, hi. Oh my God, I love you. You're the greatest. And she was like, oh, thanks. And I said, you follow me on Twitter? She goes, well, she follows, so I guess her person was behind her. And I was like, all right, you don't have to be that nice to me. That's fine if you don't want to be nice to me. Even though I was a supporter of yours during the pre-candidate, when she was whatever, it doesn't matter. So some people you're like, you're just in the middle of the news. And I have to say, and then I'm going to tell you about the dinner, but for me, the First Amendment, like there's nothing like freedom of the press and comedy. Those journalists and comedians are under attack. And, journalists, good journalists who want to get the truth out and comedians who speak truth to power. These are the people who are getting attacked. And it's not right. So I love the combination of the comedy and the journalism.
This week's episode of It's Judy Show with Judy Gold is sponsored by BetterHelp. And if you know me, which I think you do because you're listening to my podcast right now, you know that I am a big advocate for therapy. I think it benefits everyone. I think there's so many people who need it, who don't partake. It is so important for your emotional health and well-being. Therapy is fantastic. It is in every stretch of the imagination. And if you're thinking of starting therapy, please do it. But please give BetterHelp a try. It is entirely online. It's designed to be convenient. It's flexible. It suits your schedule. You fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist, and you can switch therapists anytime for no additional charge. I have switched therapists in my life. I've had many, many therapists, and sometimes it's not a great fit for you, but don't give up. Therapy is beneficial. You can learn about yourself. You can process and just be emotionally healthy. I'm telling you, do it. BetterHelp is great because, when I used to schlep to my therapist's office, it was so annoying. You have to do and you sit there and you wait. And then I'm telling you, doing it online is fantastic. And BetterHelp is amazing. I know a lot of people who've used it. So if you're thinking about therapy, go to BetterHelp.com. Let the gratitude flow. This is Gratitude Month, people. So you need to let the gratitude flow with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/JudyGold, JudyGold, today, and you will get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/JudyGold. You're welcome.
Okay, so the White House Correspondents' dinner brunch was great. But I was not eating any. All the food was sitting out, and I was just like, I can't get COVID, and I can't with the food out, and everyone walking by. It was so crowded, so crowded. So then we went out for brunch afterwards at Georgia Brown's, which was so good. Oh, so good. And then we had to get ready for the big night. So what happens is you get to the White House Correspondents' Dinner. There's pre-parties at the Hilton. So you go in and then you're invited to these pre-parties. So like the Wall Street Journal had a party and the CBS had a party and MSNBC had a party and NBC had a party. But so you go in, you walk the red carpet. There's, also all these people interviewing you. Harry Enton from CNN interviewed me because he's a big comedy fan and I've known him for years and he's great and he's adorable and he looked really great. Everyone looks great. But these are the things I have to tell you. Okay. I'm going to tell you what everyone looks like and the people I was shocked at. First of all, as a tall person, I can't believe how short people are. They're very short. That's the thing. You think they're tall and they're not. The one thing I have to say is that Lester Holt is so fucking skinny. He is so skinny. It's like he weighs 130 pounds. I'm telling you. And big head. All great newscasters have big heads. Have you noticed that? Big heads. I don't know if you remember Michelle Marsh. She was a local New York reporter. She had a big head. And I was like, oh, she is successful because she has a big head. We go to the red carpet. I hate red carpets. I'm telling you right now, the step and repeats where you have to take a picture and then, repeat, step and repeats are called. It reminds me of being humiliated in school because, when the big stars come, they're like, oh, look over here, look over here. Blah, blah, blah. And then sometimes it's like, your name, please. And I'm like, kill me now. Don't ask me my name. Like, kill me. But I didn't have a lot of that, so that was good. And I never know how to stand, and everyone has like a fucking stylist, and I just do my hair and put on my fucking makeup, and I don't care. I just want my feet not to hurt. But we saw everyone. Jen Psaki, she is skinny. Katie Fang, so adorable. And our group was still united. We went we all sat at different tables. Not everyone from the Creative Coalition went to the White House Correspondents' Dinner. So we got in this little mini bus and we all went over there to our pre-parties and everyone was sitting at a different table. So, Billy Eichner was sitting at Time. B.D. Wong was sitting at Bloomberg. I was sitting at Moment Magazine and the Christian Science Monitor. Who else? Jason Isaacs was, I forgot what table he was at. Justin Hartley and Sophia Pernis, I don't remember what table they were at. Oh, but Billy got to sit with the two Justins who got kicked out of the house and then reinstated. And it was it's really overwhelming. It's 2,600 people and everyone's face. Katie Tur is the greatest. I bumped into her a bunch and I love her and I love her husband, Tony Dokakakakal. They're just adorable. So we hung out with them. Some people just go to the parties, but yeah, I have to say, I thought Roy Wood Jr. was amazing. I thought he was so funny. And I loved how he brought it back at the end about the importance of local journalists and how his parents, fought in the civil rights movement and his father was a journalist and he was just brilliant. I thought Biden was so funny. And so Biden's writers, I sat with one of the writers at the Creative Coalition Gala, but then I was sitting right near Roy Wood Jr.'s mother, and I was sitting right where the writers were standing. And it was so funny watching them watch the president give his speech because they're like, it's when you write for someone else and that you have to wait for them to deliver it properly, it's anxiety provoking when you're writing in someone else's voice. But I thought he was so funny. And whenever you're going to love me. But whenever they were like, ooh, I was like, literally like, calm down. Just calm down. Stop taking yourself so seriously. Mayor Adams was sitting right by me. Not a fan. Who else? Oh, Sonny Houston. Yeah, the ABC table was right next to us. Who else? It was everyone. I walked by Liev Schreiber. I talked to Dr. Fauci. He's short, as you know. He's so adorable. I thanked him, and I thanked him for his work on HIV and AIDS. And he was like, thank you very much. I said, thank you for saving so many lives, and thank you. You are a true public servant. And he was like, he's so nice, as you can imagine, and abused by fucking assholes. Who else did I see? I saw everyone. I just name a person, I saw them. But unlike BD, I forgot to take selfies with everyone because I just want to talk to them and I don't take selfies, and it's really bad. But I thought the dinner was great. It's very crowded. You go to the pre-parties. I did not drink or anything. Oh, Jerry O'Connell was there. I fucking love him. And you're hot and you have to walk around a lot. Okay. So the dinner was great. And then we all met downstairs and we're supposed to go to this. We all got back in the bus, this little mini bus, and go to the big party, which was the CBS party. But as we're all waiting to congregate in one place, because we were all at different tables, I saw, are you ready? Caitlyn Jenner. I took a photo. If I had a Patreon, I would show you the photo. The face, let me tell you, the face is not good. It is like a very bad. I am not a fan of Caitlyn Jenner, and seeing her in person, I don't know. I sent the picture to Elisa and I was like, can you fucking believe this? So yeah, it's everything and she walks, the way she walks in these high heels. I never wear high heels. I can't imagine anyone wanting to wear high heels, but I guess she loves high heels, but she's, it's a little shocking, but I really want you to check out my Instagram and Twitter because not Twitter, whatever. Twitter's going down. My Instagram for all my photos and stuff because pretty amazing people. So, all right. So we left there. No Don Lemon. I was wanting to find John Lemon, but he wasn't there. But he did get mocked. I love that Tucker Carlson got mocked. I thought it was great. I thought it was a really great dinner. And, some of these journalists are not friendly. I'm just going to say that. Not friendly. But whatever. Let them take themselves really seriously. But it was so funny because you have to stand on line. The line was so long to get in and everyone had to stand. So I'm in the line and there's no like, oh, you host this, so you get to go in first. It is total equality standing on the line. There was someone who cut and I yelled at him. Okay, because I'm my mother's daughter. Okay. We went to the CBS party. It was great. I have photos on my Instagram. You can see all of us sitting on a sofa at the end, but it was at the French Embassy and the most amazing house. There was great food. I only had 3 dumplings because, I don't want to get shit on my clothes. And, the dinner at the White House Correspondents' dinner, the filet was overcooked. It was, hotel food. Some of the tables, by the way, depending on where you're sitting, they buy champagne and they buy extras for the table. We just had the basics. But, you can walk around. I took pictures of the president and, the vice president and the first lady. And they were like, can you not take pictures while they're eating? It's like, they can't even, people take pictures of them all the time. Shut the fuck up. So you could kind of walk up to the table and take their pictures. All right, let's go to the party. So we go to the party at the French Embassy. Everyone was there. It was the party to go to. As we were leaving, Gail King was walking in. And it was just fun. I had a couple of margaritas. There's a room that we went in the piano room. The place is huge. And we all sat there and just people watched. And it was just great. And I loved being a part of it. And I I really hate Fox News, and I really hate these fake news. I hate saying fake news because fuckface said fake news, but I really don't. I want journalism to survive. I really believe in the First Amendment, and I think once you silence comedians, that's the end of the First Amendment. And journalists are being under attack, and people are losing their jobs, and it's not good because, as you know, they're banning books and fucking DeSantis and all these fucking assholes. Oh, this is who else was there. I found out. Oh, Kellyanne Conway. Her hair apparently fried. I can't believe I didn't see her. She went over to Billy Eichner and wanted to take a picture. And Bill Barr was there. I mean, you're disgusting. Oh, and there was Trump's press secretary, this guy, and Jason Isaacs was giving him an earful. Jason is great, and he was giving him an earful. But it's just so, how do these people show their faces? Like, you worked for a tyrant, a fascist, a liar. And how do you show your faces? But it's everything you think it is. And the greatest thing about Kara Swisher is she does not give two fucking shits. She wears whatever she wants, sneakers, jeans, cargo pants. And I want to be her. But I'm too big to be wearing like a fucking t-shirt, a Mickey Mouse t-shirt and jeans, which is what I would just want to wear all the time. But it was incredible. I think everyone needs to really, really think about supporting local journalism, subscribing to local papers and supporting. I mean, I do think that all the subscriptions and the paywall thing is a little much. Like, you can't read an article from a paper unless you pay for it, which was what Roy Wood Jr. was talking about. I think that's a little obnoxious. If you want people to be informed, let them read your fucking paper. But I get it that they need money. But it was such an experience. I'm exhausted. But I finally got good sleep, as I said, because of my CPAP. And I'm off to Detroit now. And I just want to say, first of all, I love all of you for listening. I don't know if you decided that you're bored with my rant about the White House Correspondents' Dinner, but if you're still listening, I love you. I love all of you. We are going to start doing interviews and rants. It's going to be a combo. And I get all of your messages, and thank you. Thank you. I didn't take pictures this week of people who wrote to me, but I want to say thank you to everyone who writes to me and tells me that they listen and they love it, because I love you. And I love talking. And I just wanted to share this experience of lobbying and having to communicate with people who, frankly, I want to rip apart. But you have to pick your battles. And I did it. I can't believe I did it, but I did it. Yeah, I'm not as bad as whatever. And I just want to thank the Creative Coalition, Robin Bronk, who brought me there as a delegate. And Tim Daly. Tim Daly's fucking amazing. I can't believe I didn't mention him in the beginning, but he's the president of the Creative Coalition. He's fucking unbelievable. Suzanne Borden, who brought me and let me sit there at the Moment magazine table. Thank you. And thank you all for listening. Laura Vogel, who produces my podcast, was there, and we got to spend some good time together. She does social media for the Creative Coalition. I want to thank Colin Schmaling for being my editor, Brittany Jo Sowards for everything she does, Richmond. And I just want to say, check out my Instagram. You'll see all these great photos. And I'm going to be back next week as a podcast host. Maybe, hopefully we'll be doing an interview and you won't have to listen to me talk. But thank you all so much for listening. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Read my book. Yes, I can say that. And hopefully the show will be touring soon to a city near you, because it was so amazing. And support local journalism. Let's keep the First Amendment going, and let's keep fighting the fucking fight. Fight the fucking fight. Okay? Because we're going to win. I have hope. I don't know why I have hope, but I have hope this week. By, what is it, Tuesday now? By Friday, I won't have hope. So next week, you can hear me being miserable again and kill me now. Thank you all so much for listening. I love all of you. And as we always say, so long. Ga, 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 ga.